All right, then. So, in this first segment of the program, we're going to be reflecting on perhaps one of the biggest talking points in the country in the past 1 week. It's all about the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Exams, majorly on the results, which was released last Friday. Ever since the release of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Exams by JAMB on Friday, it has continued to attract a whole lot of conversation. This is considering the mass failures that was recorded. All right. JAMB says over 1.5 million students that sat for that particular exam failed the exam. And that's why some have said, well, definitely something must be wrong somewhere. So on the program, we're looking at 2025 UTME mass failures. Parents and other stakeholders push for re-evaluation. And joining me on the phone line this morning, I have Professor Gbadebo Olagunju, who is former Dean, Faculty of Law, Lagos State University, LASU, and he is also a concerned parent, and he's joining me on the phone line this morning. Professor Olagunju, nice to have you. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Victor. Thank you very much for having me on the program.
Right. So let's just touch down on this, because as we speak right now, JAMB is agreeing to review the results that was released last Thursday. In fact, they have set a date for that to really commence. But I'm just wondering, why are parents and teachers of these students that failed the 2025 UTME exams, why are you calling for a review?
Thank you very much, Victor. We are calling for a review for obvious reasons. First of all, I don't know whether you've been in the media. You must have heard the news that came out this morning in the Guardian newspaper.
Right.
A teenager already committed suicide.
Yes.
19-year-old girl.
So sad.
I commiserate with her parents. I commiserate at this point in time. I extend my sympathy to all parents and all children who are involved in this. Now, let me quickly say this: that while parents are concerned, there are two issues which I've said everywhere I've gone. That JAMB itself got itself into without reflection, and unfortunately,
why do you say that?
1 minute. I said there are two issues.
Okay.
JAMB itself got itself into without self-evaluation, releasing the results. The first one is what in my field we call fallacy of generalization. And the second one is condemnation without trial, which we use in my field. Well, let us look at all the issues briefly.
Okay.
Even the whole process leading to the registration up to the point of the main exam, JAMB had always had hiccups. You remember very well that JAMB postponed the registration for this the exam we are doing. Only not that they were to put some things in place. They postponed it once or twice before we had it. And on the day of the day they set itself, when we got there with these candidates, all these are first-hand information for me.
All right.
I took my to see it when we got there. To even generate PIN was not just an Herculean task. It was like a camel passing through the eye of a needle for all the children. Generating PIN and all, and they must generate their PIN before they can register and all those things. Now they cross that hurdle. They check them. Parents were waiting outside, and then they sat inside. We thought they will register 1 hour, 2 hours. They study all of that till 5 p.m. from 8 a.m. They sent them home because the JAMB portal was not connecting with the CBT center. Most centers across the federation, they went to that first day. Majority of them were only able to do it the second or the third day. That is registration. We leave that alone.
Right.
It's part of the process. They came to the mock examination. Most of the candidates, some were not able to write the mock exam. Those who were able to write wrote 12 hours later because JAMB portal was not connecting with their center, and the centers will be the one to download the result. Begin to see all these threads.
So one could already perceive that from the conduct of the exam,
from day one,
there was going to be a hiccup.
JAMB knew the hiccups were there. Let's go to the main exam. The main exam was shifted. It was supposed to be on the 10th. It was then shifted to start a week later or so, or thereabouts. And then they gave the dates. And then the main exam came. And then most of the candidates went to the exam hall. And the report we had was that sometimes the system will log them on and log them off. It will log them on again. They wouldn't know whether during the submission it logged them off, whether when it logged them on again, they're able to connect. A lot of hiccups like that.
Right.
Now, when JAMB released the result, wanted to release results, let's leave all other things. I got a newspaper somewhere clipping that as at May 5 was there, when JAMB was already doing analysis, they were writing JAMB on that day. So the exam on that day was not part of the analysis. Let's leave that alone.
Right.
This analysis of generalization and condemnation of that trial that is leading to committing of suicide by our youth. Because they are going to be the leaders of tomorrow, and they will decide our fate when we are old. What we give back, they will give back to us. What goes on comes on. Now let us go straight on these two phalanges. I said, JAMB now came out, supported by some Nigerians who are uninformed about what had been going on, to say that because that blocked the hole for cheating. Now we have to separate the wheat from the chaff. Okay. There could be in every exam. There definitely be on serious students, the not too serious, and the very serious one. JAMB packed all of them together.
Okay, so just a second, Prof. I'm just curious. Was it because of the number of mass failures that parents like you are calling for a review, or
exactly,
or you feel that something must have gone wrong at the back end?
You feel something must have gone wrong, and something indeed went wrong. Something went wrong, and that's why I took pain to take you through the process from registration through the mock examination, which was a mockery.
Right.
The mock examination, there was a mockery. Let us accept that. And then on to the main examination. We have to trace the cause before we start treating the effect. The effect was thought that that come out from a back end to front end of a CBT, one result from centers and whatever. All these things are culminating effect of inefficiency, honestly.
But let me put this to you, Prof. Isn't it a case of garbage in, garbage out, as they say, for any computer-based test evaluation? I mean, don't you think it's what those students imputed? That's what the computer came up with.
I disagree with you, sir. Mr. Oteri, you know why I disagree with you?
Why?
If you say garbage in, garbage out, most parents and most schools, I'm talking of good parenting now, and I can boast and beat my chest to it. This is my youngest daughter. The first daughter, the second, my son, all of them have high flyers. I know the commitment I give, and other parents I can vouch for. And the school that I send them to, for the avoidance of doubt, is one of the best schools, one of the best Catholic schools. It's a Jesuit-run school in Nigeria. I beat my chest to it. Now, I'm present in my children's prize giving day, award day, Mass of the Holy Spirit, and all those things they do to pray for them.
Right.
I know best students in the class who are average of 100%, not even 70, 100% students in all their science courses or art or commercial subjects. Now, these students, let me give you an example.
Right.
I've been working in university for close to 30 years. We have 10 semesters for law, 5 sessions. There's no way a student, my student, will from 9 semesters, from 100 level to 500 level, 9 semesters, will be scoring AAA. We call them 5-pointers.
Right.
Scholars. And then the 10th semester, the last one, we are now seeing 1.0, 1.0, 40. A person who's been scoring 100 and above. If you take such results to the Senate of your university without analyzing your faculty as a dean or as an HOD, the first person that would shout will be the vice chancellor of that university. What nonsense are you bringing here?
Yes, yes, Prof. I do understand that, but what would you say? I mean, some have said maybe some of these students were overconfident. That's why they're scoring very low marks.
That is not true. If they were overconfident, can I challenge those who are saying that to one thing? I am prepared to fund it. I will look for my friends. I don't have the money. I will look for my friend who contribute money. Let us pick these same students you are accusing of putting garbage down. We pick them across the country. I'm ready to point to some students. Now pick those students, put them in a room under strict and proper vigilation, and give them pen and pencil to write the same exam. Whether they will not score 100 in mathematics, in chemistry, in physics, and even in English.
All right.
In
So let's move forward now. What's the demand? What's the demand of the parents and the concerned
the demand
teachers?
of the parents is that it's not the question. We have been hearing they are doing a review. It's not a selective review. This thing is across board. They should just review across board and either cancel this exam and give the university to do the post UTME setting for these children for their future, or cancel the exam and do another exam for them, or go back to their computers and give them the proper marks that they deserve.
Right.
We believe these are for judge marks for them. They can't 36 over 100.
Right. So let's look at this now. JAMB says they're going to be having a review tomorrow, and they're going to be calling in all the experts, the VCs, and all those who are in that sector. What are your expectations?
We pray for God to give those they have invited their voices and to speak up the truth on behalf of our children, the future generation, who will eventually decide our own fate tomorrow when we are old. Who will be the policy makers? We just give them the word. But my own prayer as a concerned parent, what I expect is for JAMB to own up that there is error in this CBT of this year, award the proper marks to the student, or cancel the whole exam and let them redo the exam under a proper monitoring process with the people that I learned they call the Computer Association of Nigeria. They called all to advise them and guide them,
right,
so that the future of these children is not at stake.
And if you're going to extend that, Professor Olagunju, I mean, I'm looking through the results, and from 2021, I can see that we're having some very, very similar cases, lots of failures. Could this also be that in the past, JAMB has also been committing these kind of errors?
It is possible, but I must say, because this is part of the fallacy that people fall into, this is worse we have ever seen. We have never in the last 10 years, please review.
Right.
Have you ever had a situation where we have 75% failure below 200? No. So what they are selling to the public, it had always been like that. They are shooting themselves in the leg. It had not always been like that. But what they are just owning up to is that there have been errors, systemic errors in the system they have been using, which they are not corrected. Now, as somebody said, the 10-year-old has grown into a monster, trying to consume the nation. But unfortunately, at the expense of these younger ones. And that is what makes me sad. Because these younger ones will decide our own fate tomorrow.
That's right.
What we give to them today is what they will give to us tomorrow.
Let's begin to round this off right now.
That will also injure us.
Let's begin to round this off right now, Professor Olagunju. What do you think should happen? Because I know the Minister for Education and those who are high-ranking people and stakeholders in the educational sector, people have made various comments before now. What do you think should be done in terms of really changing things as we move forward for JAMB?
Yes, as a way forward, especially for this 2025 and for subsequent years, is for JAMB during this review to go properly into those the CBT, the computer center, the CBT, the back end, and look at the problem that could have happened. It is not impossible, and as I said, that the results were not properly posted. Like, for example, those statistics, maybe they were not, because, only English has, I think, 60 marks. Others are 40 marks.
Right.
There's a way the thing is structured. It is possible that they just awarded the marks, original scores of this candidate without the machine further processing it. Maybe if you score like 30 over 40 in chemistry, for example, it has to be, I think, it's 30 over 40 multiplied by 100 over 1 or so. Maybe the program did not process it till the end. They have to look at all those ones. I believe the computer experts and the rest of them will look at that.
All right.
And then be able to justifiably let the students know that they have been fairly assessed. But as it is, the result, the students themselves are crying. I have visited a lot of schools. They are crying that these are not my scores.
I have some messages here for you quickly. Let me just touch on them before we wrap up. This one says, good morning, Victor. The mass failure is an indication of system failure rather than the abilities of the students. Coyote is sending this one in. Coyote, thank you so much. This one says, good morning, Victor and Prof. Do you think JAMB has been transparent enough about what may have gone wrong? Olamide is asking that question. Thank you so much, Olamide. Another one here says, hello, Traffic Radio. How much of this should we blame on technology, especially with CBT issues still being reported. You didn't put your name, but thank you so much. All right, so I know these are things that we've all commented on, but as a round off, Prof, what's the message to the listening public this morning?
The message to the listening public is that in all issues and situations, we should be introspective. We should be empathetic. Empathy. We should not just jump out and start condemning. This set of majority, because I won't say all, I've said there are two sets to exam, serious and unserious. There could be some unserious ones. The whole social media just came out, I watched, and started, blaming, condemning. Some of them felt so bad. That's why the result of the suicide. That is because the exam plugged the whole examinations, the standard has fallen. What is the percentage of measurement of the standard that has fallen? We interact with the students, so we should be introspective. We should also, because even our honorable minister came out almost immediately after the analysis of the result and gave the same reason, because they unplugged. If at the end of the day we now find out these problems with JAM, do you now go back to apologize to this set of children who have been injured? Because the innuendos raised was as if they were all, it's a result of cheating, that was why they failed. And they felt so bad.
Right.
They felt, so we should all be introspective, give the benefit of the doubt, and then we go deeper.
All right,
before we begin to make comments and judgments.
We'll leave it at that for now. Prof, it's nice having you on the program. Thank you so much for connecting with us this morning.
Thank you very much, Victor. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, then. So we've looked at 2025 UTME mass failures. Parents and other stakeholders push for re-evaluation, which fortunately JAMB has agreed to. And let's see what the outcome will be. Professor Gbadebo Olagunju is former Dean, Faculty of Law, Lagos State University, LASU. And of course, a concerned parent as well. All right, we're going to take a short break right now. When we return, we do our birthdays before we switch to maritime today.